Today, Namya Dhalla would be interviewing Dr. Bhumi Tiwari about her journey of creating a dental e-magazine for the general public. Dr. Bhumi Tiwari is the founder of Toothpick e-magazine, a content creator, and a graphic designer. She completed her BDS from Karnavati School of Dentistry, Gujarat. She was featured in the IDA Student Digest magazine of July 2021. She creates content around dentistry and lifestyle on her Instagram page called Dentist Ombre. Toothpick magazine was an e-magazine by doctors for the general public. Its aim was to spread dental awareness in a fun way. They created 18 amazing issues of various dental topics along with podcast episodes known as the Toothpod, which are available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Radio Public. In this video, she's going to talk about her journey of creating the e-magazine, which a lot of people loved. I'm Dr. Satish Kumar. This is Kaizen Dental. Our aim here is to help dentists succeed.
So I first want to welcome you on behalf of the Kaizen Dental team and congratulate you on running such a successful e-dental magazine.
Good morning, Namya. It is a pleasure to be on Kaizen Dental. I have been following Kaizen Dental since my, I guess, second year of dental school. And Dr. Satish, he has always been very helpful and has always been there for me. So, and I guess for all of the dental students across India. So yes, it's a pleasure to be here be there on his YouTube channel, and I guess I think I can help dental students also through this video.
So what was the thought process behind starting a magazine in your college life?
So since my childhood, I have been exploring creative world. In my schooling, I started a blog, and I also tried my hands on YouTube, creating YouTube videos. So I've always loved all of that stuff. But when I joined into school, I decided to drop that and just solely focus on my studies. When I joined clinic in my third year, I came across patients. I realized that a lot of patients are not well aware or well educated about their dental health. They're not aware about the importance of teeth. So I thought, we should do something about it since we are in this field. And I just thought that let's create a magazine because I have some experience of writing from my blog. And I know about managing blogs. So I knew what stuff goes on the back end of it. I have some idea about video and audio editing from YouTube. So I thought let's do this and let's create a magazine and also a podcast. So that's how Toothpick originated.
Did you think about any benefits for yourself? Maybe like you told us about the benefits it would provide to the patients and everything. So did you think about any benefits it can be for you? Like how beneficial can it be for you as a student?
I actually, when I started Toothpick, I was a bit scared because I was in my final year. So I was very skeptical about this idea, if I should do this or not. But I'm so glad I went ahead and I did it because it has provided me an opportunity to network with a lot of dental students and a lot of dentists, not just across India, but also around the globe. And I have some amazing dental friends. Apart from that, it has also helped me discover leadership qualities in myself because leading a team, I actually was very amazed that I've got some leadership qualities and I can actually do that, and it helped me polish that thing. And now when a problem arises, I do not just look at it and I get scared of it. That just does not happen. Now I look forward to it and I want to solve it in such a way that it just not works for an individual, but for all of us. So that is what Toothpick has made me.
So did you start with a team from the beginning, or you just started alone and then formed a team?
So when I started Toothpick, it was just me. First of all, I told my sister that I want to do something like this. So she was the first team member that I had. She was in the review team. So she was giving us feedback as a non-dental reader. Later on, I released this idea. I talked about this on my Instagram private account and also Dentist Aubrey. That is my dental and lifestyle account. And we released a Google form. We already had a plan in our mind. What kind of team do we want? What all jobs we want them to do? So we just created a Google form and we circulated that among all the dental groups. And yes, I was actually very astonished to see such a great response that we got. I was very glad that people actually appreciated Toothpick and they wanted to be a part of it. So yes, it was a tough choice to pick 10 people out of 60 responses. So that is how it happened.
Like this was the beginning. How did you work on it consistently to help it grow?
So growth happens on platforms, on different social media platforms, right? When we started, we were just focusing on Instagram, actually. So we had a social media team and we were creating posts, reels, and stories at that time. Through reels, you reach to new people, you reach to newer audience, and you interact with your audience mainly through stories, actually. But, people are more into stories rather than posts. We used to conduct some contests or just put up some polls, interact with the audience. We also collab with other dental creators. And later on, we put up our newsletter. We started newsletter. That happened in early phase also only. But first, we started with Instagram and then we started with our newsletter. We used to share new issues every month. So whoever has subscribed to us, they will receive a new issue on their email through our newsletter. So that is how it was going. And along with every newsletter, we used to share a podcast also. And later on, this happened after a year, we started with our YouTube. That is Toothpot TV. That was there. We used to put up short videos of our podcast. So that is how we were helping Toothpick grow.
So, like your team had only dentists or non-dental members too?
We had only dentists mainly, but there were a few people who were non-dental. Like we had a video editor, we had a graphic designer, and an illustrator. So all those were non-dental, but mainly people who were handling our social media, people who were handling research thing, the article collection and all that. Everyone were dental.
You did so much to help it grow with the podcast, with YouTube and everything. So did it in any way interfere with your studies? Because like you said, you were in final year at that time. So, and how did you tackle it?
Wait, before you listen to the answer to that question, look at the like button below. Yes, that one. Please do not forget to hit it because we put a lot of energy in creating this content for you. And do you want to take your career in dentistry to the next level? Of course, then this is a channel you need to subscribe to.
The best part about having a team is that the work gets divided. So even if you are not available due to some reason, the team, they will manage Toothpick. So that was the best thing. We actually had a structure. Like on first week, we will be done deciding the theme of the next issue. Then by second week, we will be done with collecting articles. By third week, we will know who the guest is going to be and what with the questions will be. Questions are going to be. So we had a structure, and we were just working around it. So that is how we made it pretty easy for that. Actually, made the work pretty easy for us, and we were not clueless every month. Like, what are we supposed to do? Speaking of my studies, yes, of course, I would be lying if I say it was not hindering with my studies and it was pretty easy, because it was not. I was in my final year. We had 8 subjects. Definitely it hindered with my study. But how did I manage it? I have a team, so they were taking care of it, and we have divided everything. So that was pretty helpful. I would like to share this. During the second wave, my family got COVID. So that was a family emergency. I was not able to give a lot of time to the magazine. At that time, I didn't contribute much, and my team they were able to meet weekly deadlines, and we were able to release the next issue along with the podcast on time. So that solely happened because of them. I didn't even know what the topics were of that month.
So having a supportive team was the key here, right?
Yes, yes, and having a structure.
Yeah. Like, did you think about being consistent with it, or just like worked on it when creativity struck? Like, there are times when you get ideas and there are times when you don't. But did consistency help with it, or just like sitting and like just waiting for the creativity to struck help with it?
As I said, that we had deadlines, we had weekly deadlines, and we had a structure. So I knew that I have to get done. We have to decide the layout of, for example, we have to decide layout of the next issue by weekend. So we will just plan and we'll have a meeting. Mostly we used to have meeting post college. So, most of things used to happen according to the deadlines. I was not giving time to Toothpick every single day. That was not happening, of course, because I was in my final year. I'm also a procrastinator. So, जब तक last date नहीं आती है, तब तक काम नहीं होता है. That just happens, that's how things work. So that's why deadlines were very important.
Did you feel like there must be a time where you felt like dropping it anytime कि अब नहीं करना, या फिर sometime like that? It's not important. Like, if you had that thought, so did you, and how did you overcome it?
Yes, I had that thought because in dental school you have a lot of work, so it gets very hectic, especially in terms like prosto. When you have to work on patients and all that stuff, the बहुत load पड़ जाता है. And at that time, I had this thought कि यार इस month रहने देते हैं, let's just leave it this month. Next month we'll do this thing. But my team, they were very enthusiastic. So seeing them, even I used to get motivated कि नहीं यार, let's do it, हो जाएगा, ठीक है, we'll divide and we'll. So seeing them working so passionately on this project, it used to energize me also. Okay, yes, let's do this.
Okay, so my last question about this would be, like, you told me about studies and everything. So how did you manage it during exams, even like completing it before the deadlines and everything? Were you an equal part of it at that time also, or like your team helped to manage it for you just for the exams time?
No, I have always been a part of Toothpick. I do not consider myself as boss of Toothpick or something like that. There's no word like I was just leading the team. So I was also part of the team. I used to work in design team mainly, and I used to do audio editing for podcasts. Sometimes I'll help in social media also if they are not available to put up some posts, or I created reels for Toothpick because I love, if you have seen my Instagram, I love creating reels.
Yeah.
So I used to do that also. But yes, during exams, it used to get tough. But we actually had a plan. If most of us were in final year, so if final year is having exams, we will do. We will still work for Toothpick, but we will do it in ratio like 70-30 or 60-40. 40% being the work, 40% being those who have exams, and that this issue never arises कि उसको ज़्यादा काम क्यों दिया, मुझे क्यों काम कम दिया. That never happened, and I'm so grateful कि ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ.
So like having a proper structure, a very supportive and understanding team were actually the backbone of Toothpick's growth as such a good and amazing e-dental magazine.
Yes, you have cracked it.
Yeah, it was really great conducting this interview with you. Got a lot of insights, and especially the value of a team. And I'm just want to thank you for giving us your time for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Namya. And thank you, Kaizen Dental and Dr. Satish, for making me a part of this. Thank you so much.